The voices in this video are created using artificial intelligence AI technology and is a simulated voice that is not associated with, endorsed by, or affiliated with any related parties. Any resemblance to actual persons, whether living or dead, is purely coincidental and unintended. This content is provided for entertainment purposes only and is not intended to impersonate, defame, or mislead viewers in any way. We respect the intellectual property, likeness rights, and privacy of all individuals and entities. By viewing this content, you acknowledge that it is a fictional creation using synthetic media and that no endorsement or involvement by the referenced individual is implied. We disclaim all liability for any confusion, misinterpretation, or misunderstanding arising from incidental similarities between the AI-generated voice and any real individual. Welcome to Millbridge Speedway in Salisbury, North Carolina for the Winston Allstar race. It's 100 laps on the short track tonight, and the drivers are ready to put on a show on this great short track. As we get a beautiful drone shot of Millbridge Speedway, Benny, this place has some real Bristol-like vibes. Tight corners, banking. What do you think makes this track such a challenge?
Mike, this is the Bristol of backyard bull rings. You've got the banking to carry speed, but it's so short there's no room for error. You miss your line here, and you're either over the berm or in somebody's lap faster than Bambi at Candy's Cabaret.
Exactly, and with 100 laps tonight, patience is going to play a big role, or at least it should.
Patience? Mike, these drivers don't know the meaning of the word. Half of them treat this place like a demolition derby with a trophy at the end. It's going to be tight, it's going to be messy, and if you're not on your game, you're going to end up as someone else's hood ornament.
Well, one driver who knows how to conquer this track is down with Eddie right now. Let's talk to the Professor Clutchworks Pro Cup Series winner from earlier this year, Casey Hesel.
Down here with the last race winner in the Pro Cup Series, Casey Hesel. Casey, we saw how you were able to use this racetrack to your advantage, take home the win. Do we expect that today? It's going to be a lot different, though. Do you expect the same result today?
To be honest, I have no clue. I'm not on the same go-kart, and really nothing here is the same as what I had. Kind of went and talked to James Edwards and Alex Kirk and was like, hey, can I have a little bit newer of a go-kart to run out here? So they got me hooked up with that, and it's the first race out with it, so hopefully we can go back and go back-to-back with this.
That's a pretty big program those guys run. Is it hard to get more attention or equipment when you run a big program or you're driving in a program like that?
I wouldn't say I'm really driving in the program. I'm just kind of off on my own. I do all the work myself and everything like that. So I bought the 2012 Triton off of them, and they said if I wanted to sell it that they wanted first dibs back. So I was like, okay, well, maybe we can make a trade and give me a little bit newer of a cart here. So that's what they did. And I think that was about 2 weeks ago, so I've been kind of thrashing on this to get it put together, and hopefully I can report back that it was good and that I want to keep it.
A technical alliance for Casey Hesel may be the key to winning tonight's race.
Let's hope.
All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say the slider in the corner. Casey Hesel absolutely moved Travis Moonhead Brown out of the way last race on the short track with what can only be described as a textbook dirty slider. Officials missed it, but the cameras didn't, and now these two are feuding harder than neighbors fighting over a property line.
Benny, back in my day, if you pulled a move like that, you better be ready to meet a bumper in the next corner or the parking lot.
Travis has every right to be mad, and you know he's going to be looking for some payback tonight. Let's just hope he waits for the race to start and doesn't try to settle it in the staging area.
Well, I'll tell you what, if I were Moonhead, I'd wait until KC's least expecting it. Maybe lap 5, maybe lap 95. Either way, this rivalry just made tonight's race a whole lot more interesting.
All right, folks, let's send it down to Eddie, who's with Travis Moonhead Brown. Travis, of course, has been in the spotlight this week after that controversial finish with Casey Hesel. By the way, he's brought some, let's just say, interesting sponsorship with him tonight, courtesy of Scores of Mooresville, North Carolina. Eddie, what do you have down there?
Sponsorship is always key here in DNQ, and we're over here with Moonhead, and you got one heck of a sponsor on there, and, you know, one of some of the fine establishments here in the Charlotte area. First of all, how did that sponsorship come about?
Hodges, actually. He had the wonderful idea. They're not giving us any money. They don't know we even did it, but I don't know, racing, it's all about the relationships, and to me that doesn't stop at the racetrack. Those ladies have always been there for me in times of need. As recently as, a few weeks ago, I don't remember her name for the life of me, but it's amazing what you can learn about yourself and others during a Moneybag Yo song. So any way I can give back to the community and shine light on those who have helped me through some tough times and been there for me, I'm glad to do. And it's one of the finest establishments in the state of North Carolina.
So are you looking to do any sponsorship visits, any, meet and greets at the location?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if we win tonight, we're going to park this sumbitch right in front of it and stay there till the sun comes up.
Moonhead's got big plans if tonight goes well for him, and he's out there supporting single moms as well while he's out here racing tonight.
Barry, let's talk about Roger Debold. He had a strong showing at the last short track race, but Millbridge is a whole different challenge. And let's just say, word around the pits is he might not be feeling 100% tonight.
I'll say it, Debold looks about as sharp as a flat tire this evening. He's apparently nursing a hangover from what I'm told was a very spirited drivers meeting last night. Look, short track racing is tough enough, and when the track changes as much as this one does, you need to be locked in mentally and physically.
A tough track like Millbridge doesn't leave much room for error, and Debold might be battling more than just the competition tonight. We'll see if he can shake it off when the green flag drops.
Well, short track is the great equalizer here in DNQ, and Roger Debold, you know all about that. You had a good finish here last time we were in this racetrack configuration. Today's a little different story. Longer race, track's going to change a lot. What do you got to do to keep your stuff together and maybe have a good finish today?
Last time we ran here, I think that was my best finish that I've had here so far. I mean, being the first year and whatnot, trying to figure it out. I think my stuff's really good on the longer run, so I think I'll be okay with it being a longer race. It just, they take off in the beginning, and then I kind of creep back up there, so I think it'll work out pretty good.
How were you in physical condition? Did you get drunk last night, have a good big party, or did you stay calm and drink a lot of water?
And absolutely not. No, we had a good time last night. So we're out watching the snowflake, had a good time, so we're in peak form for today. So,
hey, I've done some of the best pit stops hungover. I don't know if you've ever had to do that before in your life, but it definitely changes things, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, that's a trade secret. That's the best time to do pit stops. So we're gonna take that same mentality and bring it here. So
I've seen some people do it. I've seen it happen before. Drew Herring, #1 at that. So Roger Debold hopes that his condition helps him have a good run today.
Let's talk about pit stop qualifying, gentlemen. Past winners and champions got their shot at locking in their starting position by doing something a little different.
Credit where it's due, Andrew Hale's crew was the fastest of the night. They had that stop down to a science.
Back in my day, pit stops weren't about precision. They were about who could work the hardest and drink the most coffee.
DW, coffee or not, Hale's crew was sharp. Meanwhile, some of these other teams looked like they'd never even seen a lug nut. One crew didn't glue theirs on, and another spent more time playing dress-up than working the jack. Entertaining, sure, but not exactly fast.
You're right, Benny. It was obvious who came ready to work and who thought they could wing it. Andrew Hale's team showed everyone how it's done, and it paid off big.
Absolutely. Pit stop qualifying brought the chaos and comedy we love about DNQ, and Hale's crew walked away as the stars of the show. Now let's head back to the action as we get ready to go green with the Net Positive Cup Series race. All right, race fans, here's your starting lineup for tonight's Net Positive Cup Series All-Star race.
On the SRI Performance Poll, it's Casey Pierzak in the number 54. A strong qualifier, and he's got the inside line to kick things off.
Starting second, we've got Dash Series champion Mike Contarino in the 18th. Contarino's no stranger to short track battles. He won the inaugural Cup Series race on this track.
Next up in third, rookie Joe McDonald in the 23. A fresh face, but let's see if he can keep up with the veterans out there tonight.
In fourth, making a return to the series, it's Thomas Markham. Always a crowd favorite. Welcome back to the action, Thomas.
Starting fifth is Alfredo Hidalgo in the 50. He's been consistent this season, and tonight's a big chance to show what he's got.
And rounding out the top six is Bubba. Big Daddy is ready to make his presence felt in the field, like Trump in the White House.
That's your top six for the Net Positive Cup Series All-Star race. The drivers are ready, and so are we. Let's send it up to Bob Duato, Bill Chester, and Jay-Z for tonight's call of the race. Take it away, guys.
Well, I want to thank the AI Pit Box, a new thing here at DNQ, as we have a Katana onboard camera from Thomas Markham. The AI Pit Box is going to be revolutionary here in DNQ this year.
Yeah, always pushing the boundaries here at DNQ. Real innovators. Love to have those guys be a part of the program.
Yeah, tech is always big here, but some people forget the simple nuts and bolts, it looks like, as one person's already pushing their cart back off the grid, and we're suddenly down to 5 people starting the race.
Yeah, so the timing, and you'll see it today in the Winston All-Star race. We booked it on the Snowball Derby, and we booked it on top of PRI. So we really didn't do ourselves any favors, but that's the only dates that we had. So Casey Pierre-Dezac, with his win this year, will start on the pole. With Mike Connerino, who won on the short track on the outside poles, we go green for 100 laps with 5 go-karts. So we'll have a lot of filling time to have to do.
Yeah, Brian Deegan there on the inside, sliding into that 3rd spot as Connerino making his way towards the front there. Hold on to the 2nd spot. He's been really hot and cold. This is something brand new for him. Looks like he's done a little bit of homework as he's right up there in the 2nd spot.
And that's Hidalgo in the back, or I believe that's Hidalgo in the back in the 50 car, making a move down the inside, and 3 goes into 1, and they all make it out alive on their side here. We got a lot more laps to go, hopefully to keep it clean and save some of their stuff for later.
We haven't seen Thomas Markham in this series in a while as we go on board with him here in the Katana in-car camera. Good to see him in this cart. Curtis Markham said, there is no freaking way I'm going 100 laps today. So he's like, I'm just going to put my kid in and have some fun. And that's what he's doing. Good to have him back here in the Cup Series.
Yeah, Thomas, he's had some good runs here in the DNQ Series as well. He knows how to get around Millbridge Speedway. This is obviously a totally different animal here, short track. He's done a lot of short track racing himself, knows how to pace himself. Riding here in the 4th spot right now. Looks like he's saving his tires, running that middle line, not pinching it down, burning them off. But can't let those leaders get too far away because you can go a lap down here in a hurry.
Yeah, Bill, you called it. They're running the middle of the track, letting that banking catch that right rear and, keep that cart behind him. But again, as he tries the bottom there, maybe not the most speed in that go-kart. As the track dries out a little bit and changes, maybe the pace will come to him.
We're going to see a lot of laps put down on this racetrack today, so it's going to change a lot. As Contarino has slid off the pace there, which is a tough break for him. But we heard some of the AI announcers talk to us about hey, this racetrack's going to change a lot, and that's something that they're watching. It's something that we're watching as well, as we're watching half the field get wrecked here. As Contarino adjusts his chain, that's going to put us in a caution. That'll put us in the Professor Clutchworks restart zone. So, what do you guys expect the track to do after we get, say, 300 laps on it?
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be good right now because that means you are set up for the wrong style of racetrack to win this race at the end. Right now, my eyes are on people running at the back. When this track gets all those laps on it, it's going to blow off. It's going to be a completely different setup. Just like we've seen in some of the longer races here at Millbridge Speedway, you don't want to be leading at the beginning of the race because that means you're not going to be there at the end.
Yeah, pressure is a right side weight, right? How hard are you making that right front or that right rear work? Depending on that knife edge balance of your go-kart. If you're going to try to run the bottom and make a pass, maybe you want a little bit more right side weight in that go-kart. But if you want to make the actual speed in the stopwatch, you want to run a little higher, use that banking, and maybe you don't need as much of right side weight in that go-kart. So it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out here as these laps unfold.
Yeah, see him knocking the berm down there on entry. I'm excited to watch how the line unfolds. Like you get a part of the racetrack, it starts to dry out. They're going to search for the moisture, and that's what the short track's all about. And we heard those guys talk about before the pre-race that it's like a mini Bristol here. And you mess up, and you're in somebody's lap, kind of like Bambi at Candy's Cabaret. And, Bill, I think you know all about that.
Yeah, never been there before, Bob. As we see Alfredo Hidalgo make some big moves, it looks like he's really got a unique line getting up onto, I don't know who this is, but they're getting out on the front stretch.
Casey Pierre-Dezac.
Yeah, looking like he's...
Well, you don't have to rebuild that thing if you're going to run DNQ next year. You don't have to worry about that. Last race on the clone engines for the DNQ series. This puts Alfredo Hidalgo in the front. See that now right there? That's a $1,200 bill. Now, if you're racing a Ghost, it's $300.
Yeah.
It's ultra Jewish racing coming up here in the next couple of years.
We're trying to, have little spots for the Israeli Defense Fund, and maybe the Jewish sponsorship will help generate some interest in helping to fight the war in Gaza here.
Yeah, South America's rejoicing right now as Alfredo Hidalgo leads. Thomas Markham and Mike Contarino, you're only 3, maybe we have 4 on the racetrack. And you know what? That's how this runs here today. That's how it's going to be. And usually we fast forward through these races, but felt it was necessary to give Net Positive full services their due for the last race of 2024.
Yeah, Alfredo Hidalgo is kind of taking the aggressive approach here. He's going to try to get these guys a lap down, but the battle right now is for second place between Canarino and Marco.
Well, last race at the short track, Mike Canarino took home the win. You came to life when we went to the short track. Can we expect a little bit more of the same today, or do you feel like it's going to be a little bit different given the laps you got to run and the situation?
I think it'll be the same for the first half of the race. I think it's going to, for me, I'm heavier than most, so I got to manage my tires more. Last race, I kind of smoked the right rear, so I just got to pay attention more to tire management.
So a longer race, the track is going to go through a big change. How do you prepare for that and get yourself in the right spot to where you know you're going to have the best handling cart at the end of the race?
I think it's just going to be where you're running on the track at times, like Jimmy Allen was last race, running up on the top, running that big cushion up top, and then towards the end of the race, moving down to the bottom. And besides that, just got to be there at the end. Can't go a lap down.
As a driver, how hard is it to try to get your cart set up for that transition? Because you know you're going to start maybe at the top, go to the bottom. You got a handle on both spots of the racetrack.
It's hard, mostly air pressure, but it's going to be hard just to maintain, trying to keep up with the field and not wearing everything out before the race is over.
Mike Contarino said it's going to be hard, and that's what she said.
Thanks, Bob. Well, guys, we are halfway through this race. What are your thoughts so far?
Yeah, Barry, if this field gets any smaller, we're going to start calling it a private test session. Hidalgo's cruising up front, Thomas Markham's running second, and rookie Joe McDonald is hanging tough in third. Meanwhile, Mike Contarino has had his chain fall off 3 times. I mean, at this point, somebody get the guy some duct tape or a prayer.
Back in my day, if your chain fell off 3 times, you'd just grab a wrench, fix it yourself, and get back on track. These drivers today, they rely too much on their crews. Got to learn to improvise.
DW, if Contarino stops to fix his chain himself, he's going to need binoculars to see the leaders by the time he gets rolling again. Meanwhile, I'm pretty sure Hidalgo is sipping a Busch Light while leading. It's that kind of night.
Busch Light, Barry, let's be real. If I were in this race, I'd have a drink with a little more kick. Speaking of which, we might need one ourselves up here. This race isn't exactly packed with fireworks so far. I'm going to call my girl Bambi an Uber, and maybe we can liven up this experience a little. Who has some $2 bills I can hold for a few minutes?
You know, boring races happen sometimes. It's like Thanksgiving dinner starts out exciting, but halfway through, everyone's just sitting there staring at the mashed potatoes. Somebody better spice this up soon.
Spice it up? I think Hidalgo's idea of spicing it up is switching from first to second gear. We've got 50 laps left, plenty of time for things to get interesting. If I am a crew chief for one of these other series, I better be watching how this track changes in the next 50 laps. That bottom will go away faster than Joe Biden's approval rating.
Thanks, guys. Sounds like things are steady down here. Let's see if the second half of this race brings a little more action. Back to Bob, Bill, and Jay-Z.
Well, thanks, guys, down from the AI pit box. We feel the same way. We feel like this is about a private test session when you're at the racetrack. And, you know, he did what we got to talk about is Barry touched on, you know, the crew chiefs need to be watching this race for the next couple races. And I agree with that statement. I'm waiting for this racetrack to widen out.
Yeah, I've been waiting all race for this racetrack to widen out, but there's really no racing because there's only 4 karts on here. My cooler's starting to get low, so I think I'm going to go run to the corner store, and when I come back, I bet Alfredo Hidalgo's still leading.
You look at the way the karts are handling. We've seen a lot of Mike Contarino on screen here as we're on board. But Contarino, when we watch him, especially through 1 and 2, once that kart sets, that right front just starts shoving across the racetrack. Oops.
Alfredo Hidalgo leads. We'll be right back after this message.
I'm going to open up 2 beers.
Okay.
You tell me which sounds more refreshing.
Gotcha.
This one? Or this one?
Bush. Definitely the one that went Bush. What beer is that?
Are you being serious?
Yes.
It's Bush.
Right.
Welcome back to the Millbridge Speedway for the Winston, the All-Star race, the Cup Series version of it. As there it is. The caution is out. And it is the Nitro 5 to go caution here as Alfredo Hidalgo. And I think the whole field was happy to see this caution come out because the taco necks were starting to come out a little bit, Bill.
Yeah, they were. I saw that early on with some of the drivers. And Hidalgo, he's a taco-eating sumbitch, and he's able to keep it out front. And right now we got our 5 to go. He put a couple cars a lap down. I mean, he's
we got Bubba back on the racetrack. Yeah, Bubba, who had that chain issue at the start of the race, is back out here.
How many laps
we'll
down?
See how this goes,
Bob?
Alfredo. About 57.
57
so here
laps
we go.
to do a
Green.
gear change. 5 to go. Green.
5 to go, and there he is, the lap car. Just
57 laps down.
Absolutely wild. The track's getting real wide now. Bubba there shot the jukebox and just ran way out front. He's got 4 kart lengths on Markham and Hidalgo. Hidalgo slams down the inside. Door shut by Markham, but Hidalgo still makes it through.
You go on the Katana onboard camera. Thomas Markham gets a little free, and we only have a few laps left. Alfredo Hidalgo's setting off into the sunset. Or shall we say he's leaving the border.
I was talking shit about him not having the right setup, but I was wrong. That's not the first time. Alfredo Hidalgo, 2 more corners to go. Really just got to watch out for that Bubba missile, and he's going to take this home. Alfredo Hidalgo wins the inaugural Millbridge Short Track.
Alfredo going to get the beer bath here. Your Cup Series main event winner, and they're going to add another one in on him as well. Led since lap 17, almost lost it on that 5 to go caution, but now he's sitting here in victory lane at Millbridge Speedway. Alfredo, man, a dominating performance right there in your Cup Series. How are you feeling?
Oh, man, I feel great. First off, glory to God, and then I got to thank Robert Showalter and everyone here sitting here that just doused me in Busch Light. Man, this is awesome. I was a bit worried at the end there, but I'm happy I finally won. I don't know what to do with my hands. Yeah, man, this is such a fun racetrack. I love coming here. Finished second the first time around. So it's good to get a win here and get redemption from that. And hopefully it's a sign of things to come for the next season.
Well, man, you talk about it. We talk about that 5 to go caution. You decided to choose the top side on that one. Was that a strategy, or you just knew that was a safer bet?
I just felt like that was a safer bet for me. I felt like I got better rolling there up top, and so yeah, just decided to go with that move. I'm glad the dive bomb there at the end didn't hurt me too bad, and I'm so happy right now.
Well, man, a dominating performance here today. I think you led since from lap 17 on, just 100 laps around this mini Millbridge, man. Do you think you got 100 more in you?
I could do 400 if you wanted me to. This is awesome. I love this place.
Don't give Eddie any ideas, because next year it'll be 400 laps and you'll be hating them. So a heck of a job here tonight. Anybody else you need to thank that you didn't get to thank?
No, but I'll go individual. Robert Showalter, Zach, Colby, Mike. I forgot Jacob. I was blanking right there. Thank you guys. I appreciate everything you guys do for us.
Man, a heck of a job here tonight. Alfredo Hidalgo, your Cup Series main event winner. Thomas Markham, a solid second place finish on the lead lap here. This one got to battle with it after that 5 to go caution and had a very good shot at the win. How are you feeling about your day here today in the All-Star race?
Tired.
It's 100 laps around. I talked about it with Alfredo. 100 laps around this place ain't no joke, man. Do you think you got 100 more in you?
Oh, no, definitely not. Probably 25 more, not 100.
Well, man, just take me through that 5 to go start. You seen Alfredo pick the top side. You had to go to the bottom side, and then the bowl move by that lap cart going into turn number 1. Did you think that gave you a better shot or worsened it up for you?
Well, at the choose cone, I figured I had to do whatever the leader wasn't doing. That was my only shot at winning. He was way faster than the rest of us. And then just out of nowhere, here comes a lap cart. I was like, oh, this is my chance. Yeah. And then I just didn't have anything for him after that.
Well, man, heck of a job here today in this 20 machine. Who are you going to thank for giving you a fast piece?
My parents, my dad. It's his cart. I was in it so he couldn't fall out of it. That's it.
Well, a heck of a job here tonight. Thomas Markham, solid second place finish in your All-Star event here tonight in the DNQ Series.
All right, fans, here's the starting lineup for the Professor Clutchworks Pro Cup Series Winston All-Star Race at Millbridge Speedway.
Leading us off tonight is none other than Casey Hesel in the number 1. A past winner here, he earned the top spot thanks to his previous success. But let's not forget about Dylan Teasley in the number 21, who laid down the fastest lap in qualifying with an 11.523 seconds.
Teasley's got speed, no doubt. But starting second could make things interesting with Casey on the pole. Right behind them in third is Joe Henning in the number 427. He's been solid all season, and this is a good spot to stir things up early.
Yep, and don't count out Timothy Cryer in fourth. He's rolling off in the number 59, and if there's one thing I know, this man is going to tear up Dustin Dunn's shit. I mean, this cart just won the championship, and they put him behind the wheel. Good effing luck. Back in my day, we called that the danger zone.
In fifth, we've got Travis Moonhead Brown in the 0-1. He's probably still ticked off about that dirty slider last week, so watch for some payback. Our starting sixth is Richard Reeves in the number 11, and in seventh, Ray Ellis rounds out the field in the number 73.
7 drivers, a short track, and 100 laps. Somebody's leaving here with more dents than a good old girl from the Shark Lounge.
And there you have it, folks, the starting lineup for tonight's All-Star Race. With a mix of past winners and fast qualifiers, this one's shaping up to be a classic. Back to you bitches in the booth. Benny, where is Bambi? Did your app say what time she would be here? I'm going to mix up a C0 up before this snooze fest starts.
Sounds like you guys are having as much fun as we are up here where cocktails are flowing. We're waiting for Bambi to get down here too. As Casey Hesel leads this field as we go green, Ratchet Jaw is going to take the jump here in the Professor Clutchworks Pro Cup Series.
Ratchet Jaw's had that Professor Clutchworks clutch dialed in. He gets out to a big lead early. We saw track position be a big factor in the first race tonight. Let's see if Ratchet Jaws can keep it out front for the entire duration of this race.
Hey, I was saying, Henning tried to make a move here on Hesel, but can't quite get it done. Hesel with a really wide entry, cutting it down. You can see that as we're on board here with the Katana onboard cam. There's a little bit of moisture still down on the very bottom, so if the drivers are daring, they can kind of dip that left front end and hopefully get the cart to rotate around it. But the 0-1 making hay on the high side as Henning loses his spot, falls back to 5th.
Yeah, that Scores of Mooresville machine there for Moonhead. We talked to him about his interesting sponsorship earlier, and he's got that on board tonight. Said if he wins, he's going to park that sumbitch right in the center stage, and he's going to stay there all night. That's his goal, as he supports single moms around the Mooresville area.
Yeah, he's going for the hula hoop effect on that one. Put the money in, get the money back out. That's that sponsorship there. Moonhead got that right side right up on the berm, making some hay up there. You know, I wonder if he's got that winner's quick change in there in case his chain falls off. He can get that sucker changed in less than 57 laps.
Look at Ratchet Jaws. I never thought we'd see Ratchet Jaws out to a commanding lead here.
Man,
he is set sail.
He's running like child support, putting a hurting on the rest of the young men in the field here, holding them back, you know?
Yeah, he's got it going on right there. And look at this top starting to come in 1 and 2 as Timothy Cryer in that Dustin Dunn machine, which we heard the AI talk about. It's a bold strategy for Dustin Dunn to put him in that thing.
Yeah, it is. You know, sometimes when you're scared, you make stupid moves like that. And he's about to go a lap down by his old teammate, Touch Me, Tease Me.
No doubt. And we see these two get near each other, and we saw that dirty slider from the last time we ran the short track with these two. Casey and Moonhead, they've had it out on social media. They've had it out everywhere, and now we see them near each other. We're going to see how this plays out for those guys.
Yes, we see
Oh, yeah. Taco neck already. That's a bad deal to have taco neck.
Yeah, those guys are sitting a little bit upright in that go-kart there, and it's falling out of the seat, begging for a McDouble here as quickly as possible. He's got the sesame seed bun coming out his pores at the moment, but
definitely a Coke heavy on that one, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, remember them straps you had to run at Baby Bristol? Gonna need them here too, buddy.
Yeah. Look at Joe Henning watching Casey Hesel and Moonhead go at it, battling again. These two have a great rivalry brewing, and we got a front row seat for it with Joe Henning's KBG in-car camera.
Yeah, Moonhead put him up on the dash there, went around the outside, and Casey Hesel tried to shut the door. Moonhead throws him a slider.
Now the track's starting to widen out. I think we're going to see some sliders here, and there's a dirty one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, we can't throw the caution every time that happens. You know, if it's really bad and we see it, we're going to put him to the back. But see, Moonhead rebounded already. He's good. And he puts it on the cush.
Yeah, that was
I like
clean there.
Henny's throwing it up there in 3 and 4. He ain't afraid. Moonhead's doing the same.
Yeah, Moonhead.
Now we got some lap traffic.
Yeah, Moonhead just keeps losing that right front. It turns in okay, but once it loads up, that right front just wants to push center off as we back out here and get away from the onboard and kind of check that distance that Hesel put between himself and Moonhead while Moonhead was battling with Henning there towards the back.
Yeah, we're starting to see that berm in 3 and 4
Hesel's
come in pretty good, and I'm interested to see where that goes throughout the day.
Yeah, Hesel's somewhere around that 5 beer mark. You know, not quite enough to really get you in a good spot, but better than nothing. You know, it doesn't really look like he's going to catch Ratchet Jaws. Ratchet Jaws got that sucker dialed in just right. But, you know, Hesel's going to get some points, but it's really not going to matter.
No, and they better figure something out because Teasley's he's got the lane figured out. Now, we'll see if the track changes. He's got a 100-lap race right here for the Pro Cup Series. We'll see how it changes. I'm interested. You're going to get some cautions. The track's going to change, and I'm looking down at the lap times. It looks like some of the guys in the back might start to be Yeah,
you can see him starting to bottom feed here, moving around on the track, searching for some grip, looking like they're trying to practice for that 410 race later this week. But the track will change, laps and laps and laps, 300 laps that we talked about here. And Hesel's experience, Moonhead's getting more and more experience out there. So I'm interested to see how this shakes out here.
Bob, as I watch some of these cars here, I'm worried about some of these guys making minimum speed.
Yeah, we don't have that. That's, the 11 is too light. Yeah, get that guy a Coke Classic. He needs one.
A Coke Classic and about 3 rounds in the right rear is what I think he needs.
Maybe he needs a cocktail. Maybe he needs Bambi to come on there and sit on his lap. Teasley leading this thing, just absolutely wearing out the competition today, and it's just his day. Now, how can he mess this up? I guess that's the big question. How do you mess up a kart that's that good right now?
Yeah, we'll wait and see. I'm sure that'll happen.
Yeah, we got the 5 to go caution as well, which is DNQ's way of effing up your race, whether you like it or not, right? Hesel could just dive bomb him, which makes it exciting for the fans here because we've they paid good money to sit here and watch him space it out. So we'll see what happens with the 5 to go as Hesel makes his way through the done replacement.
Cryer in that championship winning kart running about 35th as we go on board with Joe Henning, who's now racing with Moonhead. Casey Hesel got back by Moonhead. I don't think we had that on film, what happened there. Moonhead off the berm on his own. Dude, this is a tough track to race on. I mean, it's physically demanding, and then you've got the track changes, you got the lane changes, and everybody's all over the place. It's probably pretty tough behind the driver's wheel as well.
Yeah, there you see the white flag from the Dustin Dunn here. Go to the inside. I'm tired.
Very Caucasian of him.
It's got to be tough to pass here, especially when you're racing with somebody that's just as fast as you are. And we got one around.
Oh.
Moonhead goes for a spin. Oh.
Hate to see it, but he was falling out of the seat there. That right side panel there, I'm pretty sure, is to keep him from falling out of the go-kart.
And you know what's a shame is all the single moms in Mooresville are really upset with that spin as we go in the Professor Clutchworks restart zone. Moonhead getting going again as we go green. See if Ratchet Jaws can stretch his legs like he did earlier. He gets a good run off of 1 and 2.
Yeah, man, that thing's firing off really good. What I love about this short track, it is right there on the front stretch, right in front of the fans. Everybody's right up close. They can see the action. They can feel the power. These things are screaming 10,000 RPM at the end of the straightaway. it's really just a spectacle here at Millbridge Speedway.
One of the comments I heard was the glowing brake rotors in the back here as Moonhead gets moved out of the way by the heading machine. 1,200 degrees on these custom carbon hybrid brake systems they're running here in these karts now. Very high tech.
Yeah, anything that you can do to lower rotating weight. I mean, that's the goal here in DNQ. And it's again, Cryer he pointed Moonhead by. This is a DNQ racer, right? You point a guy by, and then you race the dog shit out of him after you point him by. That's how DNQ works.
Ryan Newman, right?
Just like that. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but his defense.
Don't look now. Casey Hesel's pacing. Ratchet Jaws. He hasn't pulled away just yet.
Is Ratchet Jaws starting to get tired? Is he like that skinny kid that just can't run?
I don't know. It looks like he is, but he holds the lead right now, and I know our guys are itching to talk about it. Let's send it down to the AI pit box.
All right, folks, we're at the halfway mark here at the Winston All-Star race for the Professor Clutch Works Pro Cup Series. It looks like Teasley has the advantage, but not by much. This has been a banner day for this mid-pack peasant.
Mike, Teasley's out here holding the lead for now. However, I know he nut and bolted that car with a buzz a few nights ago, and you have got to think, Joe Henning and KC Hesel are so close behind, they could probably tell you what brand deodorant he's using, if he's even wearing any. And let's not forget Moonhead. He spun on lap 34, probably because he caught a glimpse of Bambi in the booth and thought, man, those are nice. Now he's still in fourth somehow. Go figure.
You're right, Barry. Teasley's holding up under pressure, but with guys like Henning and Hesel crammed up his ass, it's going to get dicey real quick. And let's not forget Moonhead. He had that spin on lap 34, but he's still hanging tough in fourth. Got to give the guy credit. He's made his way back to a respectable spot. He is one cigarette and a tire pressure adjustment away from the top spot.
Moonhead's team must have messed up the wedge or stagger on that kart. I know when the car wouldn't handle when I was driving it, it was always the team's fault. It totally wasn't mine at all. They were always the ones that messed up.
No shit, DW. That sounds like a real Hall of Fame move to me. This track's going through more transitions than Caitlin Jenner, but I still think we're going to see the top groove start to come alive as this race goes on.
Exactly. Only one caution so far, but you know how these short tracks go. Things can get wild in a hurry. Teasley isn't used to being up front, so we will see if he can make it happen. He's got a shot at pulling this off, but this isn't over by a long shot.
Thanks, guys. It sounds like we've got a tight battle brewing up front. Let's see how the second half unfolds as we head back to the action. Bambi's Uber is pulling up now, boys, so let's get ready for the real fun to start. Back to the bitches in the booth.
Well, guys, I appreciate that. And as we're watching Joe Henning run down the mid-pack peasant Teasley, he's going to make a move to the inside. Can he take the lead?
Yeah, that thing has gotten really, really tight. I wonder if he's got a tire going down on that 21 machine.
It's got to be maybe way too much camber. He's just chewing up the inside treads on these Hoosiers that they're running here. But quite a comer and goer situation as we talk about our buddy Barry here.
Yeah, and you know what? I watched Henning start running the top really hard in 3 and 4. He's going to go to the bottom here to try to make the passes. He's going to clear. No, Ratchet Jaws cross him over. I bet he runs the top here in 3 and 4, gets that run, makes the pass in 1 and 2 as Hesel has now joined the party.
Well, he's going to have to because Hesel's on the bottom.
Here we go. Going to get the run down the front stretch. Just Hesel went in there and kind of messed him up a little bit when he was trying to make his move, and now we got a 3-car battle for the lead.
Don't look now. We got a couple of lappers in front of us running side by side. This is really going to mess up the lead. This is Moonhead in front, who was a weapon in himself, already spun out once. And Dustin Dunn's replacement, who's been all over the track himself, is we're 3 wide for the lead. This is really getting exciting now, boys.
Hesel steals the lead there. Teasley going to go to the
This has turned into quite the race. Fans getting up on their feet, waving their bush lights in the air as their favorite drivers duke it out amongst the lap traffic. Ratchet Jaws on the very bottom, being very curt about it with not quite a dirty slider. He should have been in there anyways. F the lap traffic. The fight goes on. Hesel takes the lead, and Teasley jumps the berm coming off the 2.
Ratchet Jaws
the old bump and run from Casey Hesel.
Yeah, Ratchet Jaws was a power bottom there for a minute and took one on the chin. Casey Hesel out there out front now. He's got all that clean air. He's going to stretch his legs. He might have been saving it for the end there. You know, he's a grower, not a shower.
Yeah. As we watch from the drone footage here, watching Hesel and Henning battle it out and see which lanes they do. It seems like they're in the same lane. Henning's got a little bit different entry into one, but these guys now have become the class of the field, so we're watching the track change a little bit. You know, Teasley had a really good run. His kart's fast. He can get back up to the front, but the lanes are changing, and you see the color starting to change there on the racetrack.
Bob, I love that Goodyear blimp shot. That really showed the track, and you could see the ultra black line forming right there through the middle. You know, we were right on the bottom. We were right through the middle for a lot of the race, but now it looks like the middle's slicked off, and you got to be right up there on the berm as Hesel gets past, and then he slides him on
You no
back.
longer have that.
It's the Hoosier blimp.
I love that.
The Hoosier blimp.
We know who signs our checks.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That there's no more muddled line, right? There's no more gray area. We have two distinct lines. It seems like the transitioning may have stopped. I don't know if that had anything to do with what happened in November, but all of a sudden the transition is not the thing. Two very distinct lines as nature intended.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's not cool to transition, and you know what? If the transition's in the wrong area, they're going to call it out now. So, and everybody's starting to get back into that when they realize that they lost.
Yeah, there's a lot of money to be made, and right now, Casey Hesel is the guy making all that money, and his car is red as he gets right up in that berm. Man, he is flying around the top. Look at that big run. Goes back to the top spot.
Henning did a respectful thing right there. He could have smacked the shit out of Casey Hesel, and he did not. So we got to commend him for that. As Timothy Cryer in that championship-winning kart is waving to the fans.
In the towel.
Yeah,
waving to the fans. You know, instead of pulling off the racetrack down the front stretch when he had a problem, he's just going to stop on the track. He's probably tired.
Lay down.
I was about to say that, yeah.
Flop too.
Yeah, fucking.
Nothing says peak physical conditioning like, hey, dudes.
And no gloves.
We just got sleepy, and there's 71 laps into this thing. We've got a heck of a race. We go back in the Professor Clutchworks restart zone. Ratchet Jaws has a chance to get back in the front of this thing, and so does Moonhead. He's up there in fourth.
Yeah, somehow
he got the lucky dog, so we do have that.
Yeah, Ratchet Jaw's not quite sure where the racing line is anymore. I think he caught a glimpse of Bambi going down the back stretch. And,
yeah, that's the mid-pack peasant thing. You know, he's not used to being up front, and that's what the AI pit box announcer said the same thing. He's not used to being up there, so he's going to fuck it up.
Yeah. Well, that's how he did running off the back stretch. Henning and Hesel still battling it out.
Yeah, Hesel's gonna make Henning use that bottom. Hesel's feeling out that racetrack. He sees the top is where his money's made getting that run, especially off of 4. As we see here, Teasley still cannot get by the 59 card. I don't know if maybe he's just getting tired or that right front truly is shot. But again, Henning affirming his position on Joe Henning, but Henning doing his best to transition back to the lead.
Trying that bottom in 3 and 4, it's tough. I mean, I think you got to get your run off of 3 and 4 and just try to make it in 1 and 2 and not even bother. As we got karts around, Timothy Cryer. Damn. Dustin Dunn's going to send the bill in the mail. You know, Cryer takes the helmet off. There's 6 go-karts here.
Yeah.
There's no need for this.
I'm done.
Right? Like,
get me out of here.
Yeah, either, don't complain. I mean, I know we have a last name to live up to, but geez. Ratchet Jaws pulls up off the racetrack. Not sure what he's going to make an adjustment for, but clearly he needs to make one.
Yeah, infield
Holy
care
shit.
center, I think.
There's 6 cars here we're going to cause a stink. Right? This is called wasting everybody's time and being a pain in the ass. Get in the go-kart and let's go.
Waiting on the ambulance to take him to the infield care center so we don't have to walk.
Well, he's probably mad because he's got to pay for what he wrecks, and I'm sure that's part of it. Oh, my goodness. I don't even know what happened. I really don't. Maybe we have a replay of this, or maybe we'll go into the restart zone. I don't remember how it got edited. So here we are, 77 laps in. We're getting close. We're getting close as we're back in the Professor Clutchworks restart zone. And this amazing field size is really... Oh, there's 2 behind that. So as we go green, these 2 are going to battle it out again. And we don't really care about the rest of the field, do we?
Who the hell lined these people up? Hey, y'all are still on the racetrack, throw the green.
Ratchet Jaws must have either hit the vape or got a Bud Heavy and a cig, you know? Not sure what he did there, but as we're watching Casey Hesel lead this field, and he's become pretty good at this short track. He's become a little bit of a specialist. He always runs good here.
Speaking about Bud Heavy and a cig, it is Chili Bowl weekend in Tulsa, Oklahoma, one of the last remaining places of Americana where you can get a $1 Bud Heavy and smoke indoors.
And they wonder why they all have the flu. Crier again in the middle of the racetrack. Will not go off the racetrack. Will sit in the middle of the racetrack.
What are you like?
Cause the caution again.
Traffic? What are you doing?
Take the helmet off again. Take it off again. That's it. That's it. Take it off again. There you go. Get off
that
the fucking
is
race.
something else.
Jeez, you killed me.
Who found this guy?
Yeah, exactly. He's got main character syndrome, as they say online. All right.
Was this a joke against DNQ? Like, we make fun of people all the time, or is he making fun of us?
I don't know. Ratchet Jaw's back in this thing, dude. He's up to second. See if he can get this lead.
Maybe it was a personality hire. You never know.
Yeah, could be.
I saw something fly off the back of the 21, I think, there when he went in the corner. Oh yeah.
Oh, boy.
Nothing like doing that 30 laps down. Oh, my.
He's had it.
Man, he was hanging halfway out of that thing anyway. He about all the way got out of it. Tough break. Let's see what happened there. 73 steps on the old pepperoni. Dang.
God, that was high-sided like a bad decision at a cheap bar.
Single file restarts here as Hesel comes down the hill. Ratchet Jaws isn't even close to him as we go green again. Hesel the leader. Still not at that Nitro 5 to go yet, so we'll see what happens. Moonhead's back. I don't know how many laps down he is. If he is laps down, I don't know. But I know the top 3 are on the lead lap, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, he's right there trying to sniff the draft as these guys are side by side. You know, that's exactly what he's hoping for. They're punching a big hole in the air for him. You see that run coming up. He's going to try to follow whoever is faster through if he can hold the speed there, but it looks like maybe that is the issue for the Moonhead machine, is just the pure speed. But Casey Hesel is loving this in his rearview mirror because he's got clean air, all that downforce, and he's making it stick. Just stretching them legs on second, third, and fourth.
Yeah, running the bottom, as you can see, making it hook, making it turn, and still getting a great drive off, although he's high in 3 and 4. Great run by Hesel today.
You can say what you want. I know we have a low car count tonight, but this race has been actually pretty good. We've seen a lot of hard-nosed racing and a lot of lane choices that are a little bit different, and it's actually been pretty entertaining for a low car count.
Yeah, every DNQ race is entertaining, Bob. You know, this is why we're still in business. Casey Hesel really out there out front right now. You know, he's going to hate to see that 5 go caution. He'd love to see this thing go green. But the battle right now is between the 2 guys that have fallen out of the seat 20 laps ago, Ratchet Jaws Teasley and Moonhead.
Hanging on by a thread. Yeah. They can pit. I mean, there's not a lot of carts in this field. Now, hear me out. Off of 3 and 4, you can pit and give him a shot of Fireball. He might be brought back to life, kind of like Popeye eating some spinach.
We're on board here. Katana on board for Joe Henning. You can see him kind of work that berm in 3 and 4, put the banking to his advantage, but try to find that moisture down on the bottom of 1 and 2. Hook that cart. He's making a little bit of inroads on Hesel there, depending on Hesel messes up a corner or not.
Bob, why are they running the top in 3 and 4 and the bottom in 1 and 2?
That's a great question, and I really don't have the answer for you. I feel like the berm, I don't know, man. I feel like 1 and 2's even there. It's just one of those things where they They don't work it in as there it is. The Nitro 5 to go caution, and things are about to hit the fan. So we'll see how this plays out. Can Hesel take this thing home, or is it going to be Ratchet Jaws or Henning as we go green?
Moonhead was an entire row off of the lineup there on that start. The battle right now, Ratchet Jaw is going to throw the bomb on Casey Hesel. Oh, Hesel barely gets the run back on the outside. They trade some paint. Ratchet Jaws runs him up the racetrack again. You get the number 1 sign, but that opens the door for the 427 car.
Hesel dives it down in. He's going to clean the whole field out. That'll bring out the caution. That'll put Casey Hesel to the rear of the field for that maneuver.
Was that
trying
bad?
to eliminate
Wasn't
that
good.
stuff. Yeah. Was it? I don't know. He'll tell you it wasn't. He's going to bring out the caution. We'll put the 1 to the rear of the field, and he's going to scream about it, which, yeah. He's saying I got dirty slidered, which it was not that bad, which you'll see later on. Here we go. Professor Clutchworks restart zone. We got Henning, Ratchet Jaws, and we'll see if Hesel can make a charge back to the front.
I think he can do it. I'm expecting Teasley and Moonhead to really get crossed up racing each other, letting Hesel get by pretty easy, as he's already by Moonhead. Sent him.
Moonhead had to race him hard. He didn't have a choice.
And then we'll see if he can run down the 427 Curtis Henning as those laps wind down, running out of time.
Henning takes the white flag, and he has had a long battle here tonight and a well-deserved win here at the All-Star race for the Pro Cup Series division. Congratulations.
Standing down here with your Pro Cup main event winner, Joe Henning. Joe, you were the first one to find the top line down there in 3 and 4, and it showed a lot of speed in that one. And Casey, at the end of that one, was able to adapt your line and chase you back down. But, man, you are sitting out here in victory lane. How are you feeling?
Oh, pretty good, pretty tired, pretty sick. This victory is brought to you by Dayquil, which had me a little confused. That's why I kept trying to run the bottom in 3 and 4 and the top in 1 and 2 a couple laps. But, yeah, the quote from Eddie is, "You actually did a decent job there, Joe." So I'll take it. It's a damn good day.
Well, man, the fans of Eddie DeHunt in the stands up there giving him a big cheer. Man, a really, really fast 427. You, Casey, Dylan were able to battle it out for, right at 100 laps. That was an insane race. And I don't think there was maybe about 15, 20 laps that didn't have some kind of battling going between y'all two. Who all do you got to thank for giving you such a fast 427?
Oh, boy. Jonathan Stewart and I work on karts together, so that's a big help. I've got my wife here helping out, and I'm really glad she was able to come and see this race. And, yeah.
And again, Dayquil, too. A heck of a job right there, Mr. Henning. Joe Henning, your Pro Cup main event winner here tonight at Millbridge Speedway.
Thank you.
All right, race fans, we're here at Millbridge Speedway for the Josh Long Memorial, a 71-lap showdown honoring Josh's legacy and his kart number. Tonight's field is stacked, and with 71 laps, we're in for one heck of a race.
On the SRI Performance pole is none other than Zach the Nighttime Nightmare Campalonga. He's fresh off clinching the 2024 Dash Series Championship, and his crew earned this pole position with the fastest pit stop. This guy's been on fire all season, and tonight's another chance to show why he's the champ.
Right next to him is Jonathan Stewart, or as we like to call him, the Amish running back. He came up just short in the championship fight, finishing second in points, and you know he's hungry for a win tonight. He had a clove of garlic with him on the grid in hopes he would keep the vampire away. Now the only thing missing is his buggy and a loaf of fresh-baked bread.
Well, BP, these two have been the class of the field in 2024. Zach has had Stewart's number all year. Or maybe that clove of garlic will stop the vampire in his coffin today. Remember, Benny, this is a day race, which doesn't bode well for vampires.
Starting third, we've got Steven Totches in the 63, followed by Isaac Harris in fourth. Both of these guys have shown flashes of brilliance this season. Look for either of them to make a run for the win.
Behind him in fifth is Brad Michalowski in the 60th, followed by Jamie Scooter Edwards in the 03. Now, I was down in the pits earlier. Both of these drivers have little to no ballast on those carts, so I don't expect a earth-shattering run from either of them.
Starting 7th is Casey Meyer, who's coming off a stellar rookie season. This kid had some great runs in 2024, and tonight's a chance to build on that momentum.
Then there's Roger Debold in the 38. Word in the pits is that he's battling a hangover harder than he's going to battle the competition tonight. I've seen guys win races in worse shape, though, so don't count him out.
Rounding out the field is David Hutchins in the 69. Hutchins actually went home and got his cart out of the garage just a few moments ago, and now he is in the field.
That's your starting lineup for the Josh Long Memorial. 71 laps, a stacked field, and plenty of storylines. This one's going to be fun to watch. Let's head up to the booth where the borderline alcoholics are getting ready to call this race.
Well, we appreciate that. We have an onboard camera of the Amish Hammer, the Amish running back, whichever you want to refer to him as. Jonathan Stewart has an in-car camera. We talked about it earlier. He has some garlic in his pocket, so we'll see if that stops the nighttime nightmares at Campolonia.
God, the nighttime nightmare, that's a really good one.
Yeah, we got to commend Jay-Z for that one. That was pretty good.
That's what I'm here for, boys.
All right, green flag. Now, we've seen this lane change quite a bit. Dash Series, 1ZT's Dash Series carts are totally different. Do we see the lanes stay the same or different here in this feature?
I think we'll see the tracks stay high because they don't have a right rear tire. Right? They don't have that stagger, so that banking will help that cart grip and turn, especially if they have them set it mechanically free, like you hope they would, but isn't always the case. So you'll see some people try the bottom, but I think once these pressures come up, you'll see the carts dancing around the berm.
Well, I don't understand. Well, I mean, Bill talked about it a minute ago. Why are they not running the top in 1 and 2? And I don't know if it's just the length of the track up there. It's almost like they can't really get a run, but even a lane down from the top, they're still fast off the corner as they go on board with Jonathan Stewart.
I wonder if in 3 and 4, the direct sunlight on that track just dried it out a little bit quicker, and so the bottom just doesn't have as much bite, and they can rely on the banking. That's the only thing I can think of, because it doesn't look too rough or anything like that in 1 and 2 in the top. I really couldn't tell you.
That Jay-Z, it's happening exactly like you've said. The stagger on the bottom, they don't, these guys don't have any stagger. They can't make a turn on the bottom. They're already working their way up to the top side of 1 and 2. So, got to put our foot in their mouth there. Not for the very first time, definitely not the last time. You know, these guys are with a little bit different tire. They're able to make that high side work.
You see Campolonia there. He tried to run the top of 1 and 2, and it just didn't work out for him. 3 and 4 is money. See if he tries it again here. As Tauges is going to bottom feed, and he gets a good drive off of 1 and 2, just can't really make the pass.
That Tauges car is tight. You see that left rear start picking up throughout the corners there. You know, that thing is bound up, but he's making it work. He's got some speed.
You think with the gear rule they have, it wouldn't, the bottom would be awful, right? You'd want that thing wound up around the top, but Tauges is making it work, and Monkey See, Monkey Do, our third place cart there is kind of following suit, especially in 1 and 2.
Isaac Harris has that big bat wing on the right side of that thing, Bill, and that's allowing him to maybe run the cush a little bit better.
Yeah, maybe. You know, there's some wall effects that are normally there on the big oval that are not here on the small oval. So, yep. See, that's what I was about to say. You know, the aero map isn't going to be right. It's not going to be right in sim. You know, they can't make that happen. Like DW said before, driver definitely didn't screw up there. That is all the team's fault for having the wrong setup in it.
We just looked at SMT, and he was 15 miles an hour faster on the entry to the corner. But, yeah, I mean, I know it's the crew's fault. That's it. He just stepped on the old pepperoni. Good for him. This is going the Professor Clutchworks restart zone. Here for the 1ZT's Dash Series, Josh Long Memorial. A great race to honor Josh and his legacy. And we love to do this once a year. It's a stacked field here tonight on this short track.
Josh Long had that famous 71. We used to love seeing out here racing. We do still miss him. We still want to keep his name going out there. So we're very happy to have this memorial race in his honor every year.
Yeah, especially with racing like this, we are 3 and 4 wide, back for places that don't even pay a dime. You know, these guys are out here for the love of the game, and that's what we love to announce is they are battling their wieners off here for Miss Waffle Belly in turn 4.
David Hutchins. So the 69 card, funny story. We're sitting there up in the booth here. And he said, how many are entered for the dash race? And Ashley said, we've got like 12 or something like that. He goes, I'm going to go get my cart. Well, he went home and got it and just brought it here, and he's racing right now. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool story there for him, and he's doing well. We give David Hutchins a hard time from time to time, but, I think he's got some good help as we go side by side here watching this battle for the second position. And he's just building his program slowly.
Yeah, he obviously didn't start too far off. David Talges right here, somebody that we are used to calling up front early in the year and late in the year. And this is just his timing year. Through those middle summer months, he is absolute trash. But when it's a little bit colder out like it is tonight or today, he can hook that thing up.
Yeah, we got the Amish running back starting to run that higher middle line. Gets a little bit off the racetrack and loses some ground. But in 3 and 4, he's pretty money. AI Pitbox has got a lot of input during this race, and we're going to send it down to them. Guys, what do you think about this race so far?
All right, folks, we're at the halfway point of the Josh Long Memorial, and it's been a good one so far. Campalonga is still out front, but we've had some back and forth between Stewart and Totches for second and third. Barry, how's the track looking?
Mike, it's really starting to change. The top line's coming in through turns 3 and 4, but Totches is still committed to running the bottom in 1 and 2. If he can keep switching lines when needed, he's got a real shot at making a move late in this race. Also, guys, I'm starting to see that sun go down over the back stretch. That might play into the Vampire's hand, and it will also change the track quite a bit.
Barry's right. Stewart and Totches have been swapping spots like two guys fighting over the last beer in the cooler. It's been good, hard racing, but man, some of these other drivers are starting to look rough. I've seen more than a few heads leaning over. That classic taco neck posture setting in.
Yeah, Benny, you'd know all about taco neck, wouldn't you? You're probably the only guy I've seen get tired watching a race. Remember that time Brad Buskirk parked it halfway through a 35 lap cup race because he couldn't hold his head up anymore? Guy was more out of shape than a donut.
Oh, come on, DW, that was different. Buskirk showed up for that race after a weekend bender. He wasn't just out of shape, he was dehydrated and probably still half drunk. I'll give him credit, though. At least he knew when to call it quits instead of taking himself and half the field out.
Buskirk's taco neck moment might have been legendary, but I don't think anyone's parking it tonight. These guys are in it for the long haul, and Stewart and Totches aren't showing any signs of backing down. If anything, they're getting more aggressive as the laps wind down.
Halfway through the Josh Long Memorial, it's still Zach Campalonga out front, followed closely by Jonathan Stewart in second and Stephen Totches in third. Isaac Harris holds down fourth, and Brad Michalowski rounds out the top 5. Stick around. We'll be right back after this.
Out at the cabin, fresh mountain air. Wake up, we got good times to share. Crack open a can of the finest blend. Get that Busch Latte feeling with my best friend.
Busch Lattes feature a thick foam, great aroma, and of course a finish that's crisp and cold as a mountain stream.
The crisp way to greet your day. Grab a cup of Busch Latte.
Welcome back to Millbridge Speedway for the Josh Long Memorial Race. Zach Campalonga is still out front, leading the charge as we head into the second half of this 71-lap battle. Let's send it up to the booth.
Thanks from the AI Pit Boxer up here in the booth watching this beautiful race as we go on board with Jonathan Stewart and the KPGE Katana in-car camera. He's still trying to run down Zach Campalonga. Man, the sun's going down, and I think the Vampire's getting in the coffin. He's not so afraid to be in the sun. He's just fast enough in the sun to where it doesn't bother him. So I don't know if these guys are going to have to be able to take a shot at him.
Yeah, Nighttime Nightmare is really looking good out front as the battle for second is just crazy right now. Tao just throwing some haymakers, but it's all Nighttime Nightmare out front. He's only getting faster as the sun's gone down. These guys have it cut out. They're going to have to make something happen with that 5-to-go caution.
Yeah, they don't have an answer for how fast that Bobby Showtime prepared Nighttime Nightmare card is running right now. I think that berm in 1 and 2 kind of just runs out a little bit quicker on exit than it does in 3 and 4. 3 and 4 is a little bit more berm there, extending farther down the straightaway to let them ride it. But you'll see people try to run the top in 1 and 2 and end up almost in the wall on the back straightaway there. So good racing action. Interesting to see how the two lanes have fully developed two distinct separate lines, and it's been good racing so far, even with a low car count.
Yeah, as we watch Campolonia make the pass on Brad Michalowski, who was in the 5th position. And that's some of the parity here we see in the series, and they're going to have some lap traffic here for the 2nd and 3rd place position. We see Stewart and Tauges, as we watch these cars make their lane selection here in 1 and 2, like we were talking about before.
Yeah, Stewart.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Stewart's always up front in this class. Him and Nighttime Nightmare are battling for that top spot, seems like every single week. Right now, he's going to have to find a little bit more speed, and when he's battling with Tauges for that 2nd spot, that's not letting him use all that tire and all that effort to find that speed to run down the Nighttime Nightmare.
But with those race guys racing side by side, Campolonia's still not pulled away. So I feel like if those two could just ride and kind of just push each other when they need to, they could be right on his back bumper.
Yeah, I would agree. Campolonia is still kind of searching for speed. And it seems like, especially through 1 and 2, the running back's starting to take like a half a tenth out of his lead every single lap as we're on board the China drone cam here, straight from New Jersey here to Millbridge. Kind of just showing how the Amish running back is eating into that lead ever so slightly as we're looking at some of the back markers here.
Yep, Casey Meyer had a great rookie campaign this year. And Alex Lacanada won the Rookie of the Year in the 1ZT Dash Series. Good for him this year. Look to get some more out of him at the end of the next season. As we got Roger Debold battling that hangover as we talked about earlier, and looks like it's showing a little bit.
Yeah, woo. Making it tough on these guys racing for position. We were talking earlier how good the Nighttime Nightmare was, and these guys battling weren't able to catch him, but that story might be changing.
As our friend Barry always says, we got our comers and goers here as pressures come up, tires wear, moisture levels on the track change. The Nighttime Nightmare has got to look over his shoulder. A silver stake is coming here. His night might be over in the next 5 to 10 laps. He might get consumed by the rest of the field.
Yeah, we saw Scooter there have an issue. He is definitely taco-necked out. Looks like might as well have that car purple and gold. Yeah, you're a lap down, bro. Get out of the way. You can stick your hand out, but you're a lap down. That's the thing with the dirty sliders. Everybody's a victim, right? It's like you're a lap down. Get out of the way. If you get pushed off the racetrack and you're a lap card, I don't know what else to tell you. We throw the Ukraine flag for a reason.
He was reaching for a walking taco from the concession stand there as he got booted off the track. But that gave the Nighttime Nightmare.
I think some of the necks are hanging that far out. They could probably reach the snack stand from the cart.
Yeah, it looks like Nighttime Nightmare might have cooled his shit down a little bit and got in some of that shade here in the backstretch and was able to stretch his legs a little bit more and increase that gap back to 2nd and 3rd place.
Yeah, we're watching the Snowball Derby on the backstretch as well during this, so interesting stuff here as we're watching. These guys are going to have to navigate through that lap traffic, and they get the Ukraine flag, so they're just going to run the lane that they want to run, and that's going to slow up Stewart a little bit, choke him down. Maybe that'll open the deal here for Tauges. That's just part of the short track, and that's what we wanted. We wanted long races with lap traffic as Casey Meyer gets a little sideways right there in front of the leader.
Yeah, Campolonia used to running up front here in this Dash Series, and he's right at home, just clicking these laps off, knowing it's a long race. He's running three races as we normally do, and it hasn't been a problem for him. He's won a ton of races throughout the season, and every time you think that he might not have the speed and the Amish running back is catching him, he just turns it up a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt. We're getting down to the end of this thing, and I think these guys are kind of sizing each other up. Hey, where am I better than him? Where am I worse than him? Where do I need to get better? There it is, the Nitro Manufacturing 5-to-go caution. And we're going to see if these guys got anything left in the tank, or will the Nighttime Nightmare take this dub, as Stewart took the bottom, and so did Tauges, which is interesting. We'll see if Isaac Harris has something for him as they get into 3 and 4 as we go green.
Yeah, Bob, they had to do something, hoping for a Hail Mary there, but the momentum from the top side just absolutely paid off. Tauges tries to throw one at the running back, and he does. He makes it work. Running back off the backstretch. Can't quite make it stick. That opens up the door for third, fourth. He's going to fall all the way back to 5th place.
Yeah, Isaac Harris recovering as we got a spin in the back there. It's going to bring out the yellow.
Brad Michalowski goes for a spin. Stewart just had the wires touched. You know what I mean? That's all that was. That was a panic situation. As he tried to get back on the racetrack, Michalowski just pounds the left rear of Isaac Harris. Big Panthers fan. And I see Stewart just melting down right here, which we don't normally see. Yeah, that's how that works. And he goes off track again. All his own doing. And he has a good starting spot. So everybody took the top. We'll go back in the Professor Clutch's restart zone for this restart. Tauge is going to try to make the move and try to take the lead.
1 and 2 is the preferred line on the bottom of the restart. He gets him. Newport, the Nighttime Nightmare, back to second. Throws the slider on the bottom. Gets by clean, but Tauges won't be denied just yet.
He will not, and Stewart enters the chat here as he's going to try to take the lead. Slides him on the bottom. Can he make it work?
Ooh, no, scrubbed off a lot of speed there. That might be all Zach Capellonia needed, but the running back is still within sniffing distance. He can really get dirty here as Nighttime Nightmare trying to cover his spot. He was able to make it work. Nighttime Nightmare wins the dash.
And your Josh Long Memorial main event winner here is Zach Capelonga, man, a dominating performance. I think you led 70, maybe all 71 of that one right there. I can't remember if somebody got you right there at the end of it. What does it mean for you to come here, Millbridge, here today and win this Josh Long Memorial?
Yeah, it means a lot. Josh, he came with us out to here, and he was one of my good buddies as well. So I've been meaning to get this thing for the past couple of years, and it means a lot to me. I miss him tremendously. All of us do. We had this 5C on the roll, though. I mean, thank Bobby Showtime, Colby Jacob, Sauce, C-Team Custom Cabinets, Patriot Chemical, Racing Garage Door, Ashley, Jeremy. They do an awesome job on this track. Top actually came in 3 and 4, which I'm happy for. So now I got to do 100 more laps here in a little bit.
That was going to be my next question. You got another 100, didn't you?
Yeah, I'll be fine. Get some water and get back in the seat.
Well, man, just to come out here and dominate like you did today, like you said, I think you led every single lap except for maybe one or something like that right there at that 5-to-go caution. You come into that 5-to-go caution, did you know exactly where you need to go for that restart, or did you just kind of play it by ear when you come off of turn number 4?
That first caution I chose the bottom, and that outside groove, like I said, came in. So picked top last couple times and just come white flag in 3 and 4, just protect the bottom and bring it home.
Well, man, anybody else you want to thank before you get in there to celebrate your crew and get ready for that final one of the night?
Just all these guys. Yeah, all these guys. Colby, Jacob, Joey, they did a great job on pit stop. And thanks to Tauges also. I mean, 3-horse race I think it was, and we all drove each other clean.
Well, I got to ask you one thing. You brought up the pit stop qualifying right there. Was it the vape pit that got you up front? I looked at the video. Jeremy took a video of the vape pit, and you shut your shield, and as soon as you did, you just filled up with smoke. So was that what propelled you to be able to cross the line in such a quick time, or do you think it was your crew over there?
Well, this guy holding the camera calls me a vampire, so I don't know. They want to do like an IV bag or something, but no, it was fun. I mean, just doing that, I think that was like the highlight of the night, honestly.
It was for me. That's the first see them up there with the aprons on, the helmets on. I think they're the only ones. I think they're more prepared than a lot of the drivers you're seeing here at the snowball.
Except when it came to actual pit stop.
Yeah, except when it came to the speed for the pit stop. You got solid points, so man, a heck of a job here tonight. Congrats on your Josh Long Memorial win. Anything else you want to add before you go celebrate? Well, heck of a job. Zach Capelonga, your Josh Long Memorial winner here tonight. A solid third-place finish here tonight, man. You and Stewart Capelonga all battled your hearts out here today. You got one coming up, so I'll make it short and sweet. Who all you got to thank for giving you such a fast piece here today?
G-Stats let me run in this piece. Matt Holzbauer and Net Positive.
got a lot of good things happening coming up, which I'm excited about. And thought I had a shot, but Zach was way better than anybody. So
you got another 50 in you?
Oh, easy. I could go 100, 500 more.
Well, he said he's got 500 more in him. He's going to jump in his buggy real quick. Steve Todges, your third place finisher here today. This is a familiar sight for you all season. Another second place finish. Were you trying to find a faster groove over here at the top of the racetrack here and turn down the back straightaway?
I was trying to get that drone that he put up there.
I was trying to make Eddie earn his keep here this weekend.
Yeah, I think he's got his hands full. No, I don't know what I was doing out there, just along for the ride. 3 and 4, the top was great. 1 and 2. I did something different for 71 laps. So.
Well, man, a solid second place finish here today. How are you feeling about your 92 machine going into that 2025 season?
Something needs to change. I'm wearing a hole in the ground standing right here every week.
Well, man, who are you got to thank for giving you a fast piece?
Everybody at HFR always helps me out. And my wife helps me out at home, and Joe helps me out at the work on my go-kart too. Finally, he got one, so that was cool to see.
Holding down the fort over there for that team. Well, Jonathan Stewart, a solid second place finish. You got one more coming up too, right? Or is that all for you tonight?
No, I'm done, yeah.
71 is all he could do here tonight. Jonathan Stewart, a solid second place finish for the Josh Long Memorial Race here today.
Thanks.
Good job.
All right, folks, earlier today we had ourselves one hell of a show in the KPG USAC Series brought to you by Kinder Performance Group. Big thanks to them for making all this chaos possible. It started as a 3-kart race, Totches, Sauls, and Lael, but Lael had a mechanical issue early, and from there, it turned into a 2-kart slugfest. Barry, you saw it. It was like watching two guys fight over the last beer at a dive bar.
Yeah, Mike, tough break for Lael. He didn't even get a chance to mix it up before his kart said, nah, I'm done. After that, it was all about Totches running a flawless race until that damn DNQ Nitro Manufacturing 5-to-go caution flew. He had a solid lead, smooth as can be, and then Sauls decided to throw a wrench in the whole plan. Reminds me of when we had Davey Allison leading at Michigan. Perfect day going, and then a late caution screwed everything up. You could feel the crew ready to lose their shit after that one.
Barry, if I had a nickel for every time you brought up Davey Allison, I could buy a round of drinks for the whole pit area. Look, Totches had it handled until Sauls went airborne on that restart. Dude hit Totches' left rear and took off like a damn bottle rocket. I thought he was going to land in the next zip code. Next thing we know, another caution flies, and it's anybody's race.
BP, that was some wild stuff, but hey, that's short track racing. Back in my day, you didn't wait around to get wrecked. You made the move first. On that next restart, Sauls got a huge run off the high side, dove underneath, and when Totches tried to run him down to the brim, they both wrecked. Sauls kept going. Totches tried to get a run back to him, but couldn't. And boom, Sauls takes the win. That's how I won 7 times at Bristol, baby. Being aggressive. That's how you win these DNQ races. You want to be nice? Go run Chess Club.
DW, you're full of it. You talk like you were out there bulldozing people every weekend. You probably spent more time blaming the crew than actually racing. Anyway, credit to Totches, he didn't back down. The guy ran his ass off and kept digging even after the wreck. He gave it everything, but came up 1 lap short.
Barry, I'll give Totches credit, but Sauls earned that one by not taking any crap. And yeah, DW, if I hear you mention Bristol one more time, I'm going to lose it. We get it. You won there 7 times. What's next? You're going to claim you invented the bump and run too?
Hey, I might have. And don't act like you didn't play it safe most of the time, BP. One Talladega win doesn't make you the king of short track racing. Don't forget, I won 84 Cup Series races. Most of them, I smoked your ass. Sauls didn't play it safe. He saw an opening and took it. That's why he's in victory lane, and Totches is wondering what could have been.
Speaking of short tracks, that move Sauls made reminded me of the Turkey Derby at Wall Stadium in the late 80s. Ray Evernham and Martin Truex Sr. were going at it. Same kind of deal. With 5 to go, Truex dumped Evernham and just barely beat John Blewett for the win. Nobody liked it, but hey, that's what you do when you want the checkered flag. Only difference today is we didn't have a fist fight in the infield afterward.
Let me remind you, Darrell, I won at South Boston, Bristol, Dover, Nashville Fairgrounds, Richmond, and Wilkesboro, not to mention a few more. I won 21 Cup races, bitch. Anyway, as far as this race goes, it's just short track racing, man. No hard feelings, just bent fenders and bruised egos.
Couldn't have said it better myself, BP. Big thanks again to Kinder Performance Group for sponsoring today's race. Stick around, folks. We're heading down to Victory Lane, where Cody Sauls is ready to talk about that wild finish.
Cody Sauls, you made that 5 to go caution worth it, man. Was able to work around Todd just there at the very end of that one and able to pick up the win. How are you feeling?
Mixed feelings. I don't know. That we got hung up over here, and it was so bad. Then it was like, well, not lifting. We got to go. So yeah.
You didn't come here to finish second.
No, not for sure. But no, I like racing with couches. We've ran into it a couple times, but it's all fun. Just didn't know when the next one's going to be, so or if there is a next one. So I had to. Yeah, I wanted one of these wins for a while, so it's great. But hey, it was kind of dirty, but yeah, it is DNQ. So, but anyhow, no, I'd like to thank Jared, my buddy. He came and helped me out.
You got to be the show at least.
That's right, man. We need more people out here. That's yeah. So thanks for putting it on.
Who all you got to thank for giving us 22 here today?
Man, Jared Callahan, he came and gave me a hand today. Kel Trucking, my son Jackson. He finally will keep beating me down for not winning a race, so we'll have a good one. Appreciate this, y'all.
Well, heck of a job, Cody Sauls, the USAC main event winner here tonight at Millbridge Speedway.
All right, folks, it's time for the Nowhere.US Busch Series 100 lap race, and after some wild pit stop qualifying, we've got our starting lineup set. Let's take a look at who's leading us to green.
Starting on the SRI Performance pole with the fastest pit stop is Andrew Hale, clocking in at 40.965. His crew nailed it, and Hale's got the best seat in the house.
Starting second is Carson Dollarhide in 74 with a total time of 45.550 seconds. Carson's got speed and isn't afraid to use the chrome horn if needed, so expect some action early from him.
Third is Tristan Jones with a 51.604. He's solid, but he's got to keep it smooth for 100 laps. Fourth, we've got the nighttime nightmare Zach Campalonga, whose crew dressed the part but forgot how pit stops actually work.
Rounding out the top 5 is Robert Showalter, always a threat in these long races. The rest of the lineup is based on practice speeds. Coleman Dollarhide in 6th, Ronnie Osmer in 7th, Isaac Harris 8th, Craig Crossthread Smith 9th, and Patrick Briody 10th, followed by Bryce Bailey in 11th.
Side note, Mike, Zach Campalonga wasn't the only nightmare on the track today. Did y'all see his tire changer during their stop? He was stabbing those right rear lug nuts so much, I thought he had an O.J. Simpson jersey on instead of a fire suit. Hell, I was waiting for CSI to come put some yellow tape around that pit box and open an investigation.
Ha! No shit, Barry. That's pretty funny.
Well, there you have it. The Nowhere.US Series race is about to start. Let's send it from the AI pit box up to the booth. Jay-Z, Bob, Bill, we will see you at halfway.
All right, thanks, guys. The AI pit box is by far the best thing we've done for DNQ in a while as we go green. The shit talk. If the cease and desist doesn't come first, I'm not sure which is going to happen. We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah. God, we're 3 wide right now for second place.
Coleman
Shit's
Dollarhide
getting rowdy.
goes around.
We got cars over the
Old
berm.
man Coleman
lap number
Dollarhide,
1.
Carson's dad goes around. We stay green. And the Nowhere.US Busch Series is ultra competitive, right? We all know that. And Carson Dollarhide gets the lead. Andrew Hale started on the pole. He had the best pit stop here in Allstar pit stop qualifying. But, man, look at this gaggle of carts. It's showtime in this thing. Going to pass Trailer Park Tristan Jones as Andrew Hale goes off the racetrack.
Whoa.
Could not handle the spotlight.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of lack of... No, it sounds like a lot of lack of talent in the pits and
Let's see what happened again here on the left
here.
side here with Andrew Hale. Just got up in that loose shit. A little bit too hard on the corner entry, and he's going to have to go to the back. But you got a lot of laps to get back into this thing, Andrew, so you'll be all right.
Yeah, these guys are starting to get lined up like the other series are. Top side starting to come in a little bit more. You can see some character in the racetrack building into turn 1. There's a big hole there. These guys, some of them decide to run straight through it and get up on the top. Some guys go below it. But either way, the bottom of the racetrack is not the favorite anymore through 1 and 2.
Carson Dollarhide had a good season. I think he finished second in the Nowhere.US Series point standings. He's leading this race right now. Up on that berm, making it happen. Banging the boards, banging the mud. I don't know what else we want to call it. Selling T-shirts. I mean, I can't remember what we used to call it, but this is giving you those old vibes when we ran the high side on the big track. The runs aren't as big, and it's not as fun to watch, but it's a lot safer.
That was classic DNQ. You know, guys like Riggs and Showtime and others up there with that right rear, just tapping the boards, hauling the mail. You know, getting well over 200 heading into turn 1 with a good run off of 4. Just incredible packages that we had there. But again, in the interest of safety and innovation, we had to slow these packages down as one guy goes off, the 55 car goes off in 3 and 4. We wanted to keep people's heads on their shoulders.
Oh, the leader spins. Carson Dollarhide steps on his pecker there in 3 and 4. He found the limit, got too high, and that's going to cost him the lead.
Yeah, speaking of packages, he got a little bit too big for his britches there. That's going to put him way back. Man, look at the amount of wheel input that 74 car has. It looks really tight, but apparently that's what you need.
That gives the lead to Isaac Harris, as he's going to get the lead over Robert Showalter. He just got up there too high and just spun out. And, man, you know what? That's talking about you want to learn how to drive this racetrack, and it's going to be tough. It's not easy, and that's what we were talking about. Just snapped on him.
Yep. Right rear gets over the edge. All the weight, all the grip disappears, and around you go.
You know, after after 6,000 laps on this track, you can really see the grip has gone away from the beginning of the night. But one thing I want to point out is this track is now fully in shade. You know, what do you do from the beginning of the night until now to set your cart up differently, Jay-Z, that, some people that have run multiple classes might
what
have
you're going to do is it depends on where that knife edge was, right? Like we saw a lot of people with a tight condition. So what they might do is, bump up that right rear a half a pound or a pound. Maybe move a little bit of positive camber in the left front, help it jack. Even move that left front out a wash or suck that left rear in a little bit. There's a bunch of different stuff you can do to try to get that go-kart to rotate a little bit, so you're not having to put a shit ton of wheel into it and then get that snap oversteer and exit.
And don't look now. Isaac Harris leading this field, but Showtime is in second. He's expressed that he may want to go Busch Series racing full-time next year. He's not sure if he was going to stay in Cup Series. Said he liked the Busch Series, the fact that it had a lot of competition. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. And he's used the last couple of races as kind of a practice session. It's been working out for him pretty well. He's won the championship here, and I think in 2019.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of cars here at the track, getting a lot of information from every which direction that he can. He's really put it to good use. Campolonia, as we saw the race before this, just absolutely sucked the blood out of the field. And he's taken all that information and he's put it in second spot right now. Bobby Showtime is somebody who can run almost any class on almost any course that we could put him on and be up there at the front. And he's done it again tonight.
Watching Carson Dollarhide, Jay-Z, try to make his trek back through the field. He's got his dad, Coleman, behind him. And he's doing pretty good. He's up to the 5th position right now. He's in the top 5. And, maybe he can get back up there. It's a long race, so he shouldn't have a problem getting back up there.
The old value menu up there, the dollar menu, is doing pretty good. You notice he's not quite as brave running the very, very high top. Kind of the difference between, Kyle Larson and maybe like a Denny Hamlin, right? There's going to be about a half car difference between the top and what really is the top on the racetrack there. So maybe as he gains some more confidence and runs some more laps, he'll move up a little bit higher, because it seemed like he had the speed right up there on the edge of that berm.
We see Isaac Harris and Showalter battling for the lead there. Showalter got to him, just could not make the pass, lost all his momentum. They get that thing wound back up and take another run at him here in 3 and 4.
Yeah, we saw, woo! That was very, very nice of Bobby Showtime there. That could have been really bad. We saw earlier Casey Hesel save his stuff in the beginning of the race for the end, and it really paid off. I wonder if Bobby Showtime watched that race and is putting it to the same program here in Busch Series.
I think so. He's got some good notes. Again, when you bring a field of karts here, you can spread out different setup options across the different drivers and just kind of see the lap times where the speed's made. You'll see now as the 92 machine. Is that cross thread in the 92 machine this week? Yeah. cross-thread, and that
There we
machine
go.
goes wide. You'll see him having a much more yaw in the go-kart than we saw earlier on in the night, even with the karts that ran the full-size 8-inch tires on the right-hand side. That track's definitely drying out. The grip's going away. But Bobby Showtime's making the most of it here. He's got that good notebook crossed up.
Cross-thread goes around, and he just got up in that loose stuff. And that's what happened. And I love that about this racetrack. Is, hey, look, you want to push it? Go ahead. But when you're there, it just snaps on you. And you know what? That takes talent, and that's what we're trying to find. You want to drive the karts here in DNQ. It's going to bring out the old caution for a lap kart. Tough break for him as we're going to choose here real quick. Showalter and Harris, bottom and top. He's got the dollar menu dollar hides out there. See if he can try to make it back. I mean, he's back to 5th now, so he'll be mixing up before we know it.
I read a fun fact that the only difference between a McDouble and a double cheeseburger is a single slice of cheese, and they charge like 40 cents more for the McDouble versus a double cheeseburger or something like that. I don't know. If you're broke as shit like me, it makes a difference.
Sure. Isaac Harris just got shuffled there on that restart. Tristan Trailer Park Jones gets up to the 2nd position, and dollar menu in 3rd.
Yeah, Bobby Showtime is loving all this racing in his rearview mirror as he's able to get out there and put a gap between him and the rest of the field. Dollar menu puts it back up into the 2nd spot. That 74 is rolling.
Coleman Dollar High there in 3rd. That senior up there ripping it. Let's go on board with Andrew Hale, who's trying to recover from stepping on his pecker early in the race. Looks like the handling's just not there, but his pit crew is really fast.
Oh no!
Yeah, oof. Looks like the talent isn't there.
Not
either.
tonight. I mean, he's won a race before, but just not on this short track, man. And next year, when we run that Darlington layout, that race is going to be amazing. I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of cool stuff at that layout.
Yeah, we like to keep it difficult here for the DNQ drivers. These are the best drivers in the world. We want the drivers to really show their talents here to the rest of the world. As we watch the battle here for the lead, right now Bobby Showtime, who has saved his stuff, set this thing up for when it matters, he's really out there as Tristan takes another puff of the vape and is able to get past, who is that? Campoloni, that's the Nighttime Nightmare, who won earlier.
Yeah, he just doesn't have the kart tonight to win this thing, I don't feel like. He's kind of there mid-pack, been stuck there most of the race. As Patrick Broidy goes around in the 51, and man, it's getting tough to drive out here as Campoloni goes off the racetrack. That's awesome for these karts. You actually got to drive them. So now we're starting to see some skill come into play. Now, I want to point out, not like the prep guys. The prep go-kart guys hold it to the floor and they're wide open, and whoever got the best chemicals won. You're actually driving these here.
Yeah, one thing I haven't seen is anybody use the brake, though. So
True.
You still don't use the brake here, but you do have to drive it.
Yeah, you'll see how
they can use the brake, they just don't.
You leave the left pedal. You leave the left pedal at home, man. We're trying to win a race here. You know what I mean?
Brake. They use the ARCA brake. Is 100% correct. That was fun. Oh, man. Showalter out here leading, but don't look too close in that rearview mirror because the dollar menu's right behind you, and the McRib is back, baby, looking to make a shot at the SIG. Oh, I heard something. What was that? Oh, Campoloni and Harris. They were running the big track for a lap. I don't know what happened there.
Grab the taco, walking taco from the concession stand there.
Yeah, red and blue Doritos there. Always love to be here at the Millbridge Preview. Jeremy has done a great job with this short track. We brought an idea to him, and he said, yeah, we can do that. He never says no, and it's been a really cool racetrack to watch run here at Millbridge.
JZ, one thing I want to point out is these guys are back running the bottom in turns 1 and 2, and Coleman Dollarhide running the bottom in 3 and 4 too. What causes the track to change like that? I think
so many people running the top, especially with the way that the track kind of opens up off of 1 and 2. The top is treacherous, right? The karts are running really, really wide. and there seems to be a good patch of moisture on the exit of 2 there, as we're going to throw it back down to our AI pit box for the halfway mark here. We'll throw it down to the rest of the team.
All right, folks, we're at the halfway point of the Nowhere.us Busch Series race, and man, this race has had more twists and turns than a Mexican soap opera. At halfway, it's been one big game of who can step on their own dick the hardest, and Andrew Hale was the first to play. He overdrove turn 3 early, lost all his track position, and has been clawing his way back ever since. Barry, what's your take so far?
Mike, this has been classic short track racing. Hale wasn't alone in overdriving turn 3. Carson Dollarhide did the exact same thing after leading a few laps, and that handed the lead to Isaac Harris. Credit to Harris, though, he did a good job holding the top spot until Robert Showalter ran him down and made a clean pass. That's the mark of a Hall of Famer and a past champion. Showalter knows how to pace himself, and it's showing tonight.
Yeah, Barry, but let's not forget about Craig Crossthread Smith. We all knew it was only a matter of time before he lived up to that nickname, and sure enough, he spun out on lap 36, bringing out the caution. So much for taking it easy on the equipment, huh? I don't know what he cross-threaded, but it was probably everything.
BP, it's not just Crossthread Smith out here pushing too hard. The whole field's been throwing sliders left and right, and it's been awesome to watch. You've got guys trying to rip the top in 3 and 4, and half the time they end up spinning like a politician dodging a question.
Good point, DW. The track's definitely tricky tonight. The bottom lane is the place to be in 1 and 2, but that high side in 3 and 4 has speed if you can hang on to it. Problem is, we've seen plenty of drivers overdo it and end up facing the wrong way.
Speaking of comebacks, how about Carson Dollarhide? He's rebounded to second place after his early spin, and now he's right back in the mix. Behind him, you've got Tristan Jones, Zach Campolonga, and Isaac Harris duking it out for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Those guys have been racing hard, and it's been fun to watch. Lots of aggressive moves, but they've kept it mostly clean.
But don't expect it to stay clean for long. You know how these DNQ guys race when it's go time. They don't care if they have to drive through you to get to the front. Showalter's leading now, but with Carson coming back strong and guys like Jones and the nighttime nightmare Campolonga throwing sliders, it's far from over. This thing's going to get messy before it's done.
BP, you're right. This race has been anything but boring. These guys are racing like it's their last night on Earth, and honestly, that's what makes DNQ racing so damn good. I mean, we've already seen guys like Hale spin out twice, and he's still hanging in there. Nobody's giving up, and nobody's holding back.
All right, thanks, guys. That's your halfway report from here at the DNQ AI Pit Box. Showalter leads with Carson Dollarhide right on his tail, and Jones, Campolonga, and Harris battling hard for the remaining spots in the top 5. Jay-Z, Bill, Bob, what do you guys think of what we have seen so far?
Well, I think so far, guys, we've seen a pretty good race, and we've seen Showalter, who we expected to be towards the front, is out there and now starting to check out a little bit on the dollar menus, and it's kind of what we expected here. The top has become so dominant in 3 and 4, and I'm surprised it's just not there in 1 and 2.
Yeah, there's a really big hole in 1 and 2 right on entry that I think is really messing up the top lane where these guys are having to, you can see it right there, they got to run through it a little bit, but they just barely get it and turn it down to the bottom as Crossthread Smith is really providing, I guess, some extra tires there to get through 3 and 4 for the dollar menu. Dollar menu's trying to get back to the front, but he's lost touch with Bobby Showtime here.
We're in the closing laps of the Nowhere.us Busch Series 100 lapper, and it's been an absolute slugfest so far. Showtime leads the way, but Carson Dollarhide is hot on his tail in second, with the nighttime nightmare Zach Campolonga, Tristan Jones, and Isaac Harris rounding out the top 5. Don't go anywhere. The final showdown is coming up right after this.
I'm going to open up 2 beers.
Okay.
You tell me which sounds more refreshing.
Gotcha.
This one? Or this one?
Bush. Definitely the one that went bush. What beer is that?
Are you being serious?
Yes.
It's Busch.
Right.
Welcome back to Millbridge Speedway, and hold on to your hats, folks. It's time for the DNQ Nitro Manufacturing 5 to go. Caution! The field is tightening up and things are about to get wild. Can Showalter hang on, or will one of these hungry drivers behind him make a move? Stick with us. This one's going down to the wire.
There we go, the 5 to go caution Nitro Manufacturing. I just want to thank the AI Pit Box for their help tonight. Here we go, 5 laps to go. Showalter takes the top. Dollar Menu on the bottom with the Nighttime Nightmare in third.
The Dollar Menu sleeping on the restart. The Showtime shop out in front, 1 and 2.
Nighttime Nightmare coming alive now that it's gotten a little bit dark. I wonder if he's going to throw it to the boss or not, or if he's going to run blocker for Carson Dollarhide.
No telling, but he come out of nowhere. I mean, it was not that long ago that I said I did not think he was going to win this race. There was no way that it was going to happen. He had a mid-pack card, and now the sun went down. Now they drew the shades, and that white pasty face is coming right through that clear visor, and his eyes are glowing. And watch out, because he smells blood. It's kind of like a shark. I think if he smells the blood, Showalter got the right rear off the berm, and Campoloni's right on that bumper.
Bobby Showtime breaking. He's run a lot of races in his career.
There it is, a checker
and
flag is out.
Campolonia
Who
beats
won
him
that
on
race?
right rear.
I don't know who won it. We missed the call on the white flag. Let's take a look at this last lap here. Campolonia to the bottom. Dollarhide hits him. Coming to the line, it's Campolonia by a tooth. Look at this checker flag one more time. Look at the fans.
Dirty
They're
slider
pumped.
into your boss.
Campolonia just, I'm going to steal this from the boss man.
100 laps.
Let's go down to victory lane.
To a picture. It costs you your contract for next year. It costs you your teammate for next year. But you are standing here in victory lane for the Busch Series. Zach Capolonga, a smile on your face. How are you feeling?
I was just trying to give him a shove on a restart and protect the bottom so Carson didn't get underneath me. And me and Carson got hooked up and slid up. And I honestly thought Shoei had it at the line. I mean, I was just riding there throughout the whole race. Freaking me and Isaac got into it. I thought my race was over with. Thanks to guys, I guess. Go through tech, see what happens.
I'm sure Showalter's up there bribing him right now. It was 2.021, the separation on my race pass in the scoring system, but we went to the video, and I mean, you got him by, I think, the strip on the nose or something like that up front, man. The first one you got to thank, you know who you got to thank for the fast piece here this weekend. He's pretty mad at you right now, but who are you got to thank for giving you such a fast piece here tonight?
Of course, Shoei. All the guys, Colby, Jacobs, Oz, Contrino, CTM Custom Cabinets, Patriot Chemical, Race of the Garage Doors. Let's just go through tech and try and get some water in me now.
171 laps, 2 feature wins here tonight, and your Busch Series main event winner, Zach Capolonga.
All right, guys, what a great race we had here. Short field, but the race was really good.
Yeah, it was, especially that last race. Man, once the track got worn in, it got hard for these drivers. They really had to drive the track as well as each other, and the best guys really came out and won.
Yeah, great track prep tonight. You can see that transition all night long, made for great racing. Even though the cart counts were down, DNQ never disappoints. Thanks to all the fans for coming out, and thanks for you guys watching at home.
The All-Star race at Millbridge Speedway was everything we expected and more. We will remember this one for a while. Guys, we have some questions from the booth. First up is Jay-Z for Benny.
And Benny, I know you've been around the sport a long time, but remind us, there was that brothel off of Turn 1 there at Daytona. Who was the biggest patron of that fine establishment that you remember?
Oh, Jay-Z, you already know. Tim Richmond didn't just frequent the Shark Lounge, he practically owned it. But I'll tell you what, it wasn't just Tim. There were a few others whose names I won't drop, mostly because their wives might still be listening. Thank God they bulldozed that place down.
So real quick, Barry, who is the biggest pain in the ass you always would race around on a weekly basis?
It was always Rusty Wallace. Every time we were near him, it was like a magnet for contact. He drove like every lap was the last one of the Daytona 500. Davey and Dale would always come over the radio saying, "Barry, this guy's trying to wreck us." I'd reply, "No, he's just racing you like he owes you money." And that son of a bitch sure did after we had to replace every fender on the car when we got home to the shop.
DW, I haven't seen you in the garage area for about 15 years. How do you get your information on the drivers?
Well, Bill, unlike you, I don't need to guess people's names to sound smart. I've got my sources. Maybe I just call the teams. Maybe I still know a thing or two. Or meanwhile, you're out here calling Zach Campolonga Zane Cordoba. You aren't afraid to miss a detail or 7. Get it together, Bill.
Well, folks, that's a wrap from Millbridge Speedway and the All-Star Race. It's been a night full of action, drama, and more than a few laughs. But don't worry, this is just the warm-up. The road to the Miltona 50 starts now, and we'll see you all in March for the biggest race of the DNQ season. Until then, keep the tires hot and the engines roaring. Good night, everybody.